Well, hello and welcome or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking. Today, I'd like to react to a video that's been going kind of viral lately, and that is titled "I Hired a Fat Personal Trainer," and he basically hires a fat and a fit personal trainer and compares the two, and he has them debate at the end of the video. So we're gonna react to that. And if you might notice, I hope it's not too big of a problem. I haven't figured out how to fix it. My camera might be auto-focusing, so I might be temporarily out of focus. I don't know why it's doing that. This is a new camera. I am no longer filming on my smartphone for reactions. I have a dedicated camera, and there's going to be some growing pains with adjusting to that, so be prepared. Alright, so I got it pulled up here. I don't have to stop recording and start recording again to move from intro to this. I love it. I can just select the thing. Now, I don't know if it's going to double up audio wise when watching. I might have to finagle it. We will see. Actually, I'm going to finagle it just to be safe, but before I run more experiments. So, yeah, let's just start watching. I'm going to play this since it's a long video. We're going to play it at 1.25 speed. I think that'll be fine. I don't think these people talk slow, but it's a 17-minute long video, and I know you don't have all night. I don't have all night, so I might skip parts of this too. So we'll see. Or I might cut out parts of it if it's not relevant to the topic. But I'll watch the thing all the way through for you guys.
This personal trainer charges £50 for a session. What do you think of this? You see, when you think of a personal trainer, I assume you're imagining big muscles, toned abs, just a person who's in great shape. This is probably not what you imagine. But nowadays,
So I'm going to put out my opinion beforehand. If you're fat and you're a personal trainer, I think you still have the potential to be a personal trainer as long as you can demonstrate that you know how to do the activity and you know progression and regression of said activity. And two, you can demonstrate form. If you're too big to demonstrate proper form, that'll be a problem. But if you're on the bigger side and you know what you're talking about, I don't see any issues with being a larger personal trainer. You just have to really know what you're talking about in order to be seen as credible, because you do have, like, a lot of people will see a personal trainer and go, okay, that guy knows what he's doing if he's buff. But if you're fat, you might not be seen as knowing what to do. So I just wanted to put that out there. I believe you can be fat and be a personal trainer to an extent. Now, if you're like Anna O'Brien size or Alexander Rodriguez size, I don't think you can really be a good personal trainer because your body is going to restrict your motions so much that you can't demonstrate to your clients proper form. So, I think to an extent, being a heavier personal trainer is completely fine and acceptable.
scrolling through social media, I see people who aren't necessarily in the best shape being personal trainers and giving out advice.
Hi, I'm Roy. I am a fat personal trainer.
My name is Carrie. I'm a personal trainer and a power lifter, and this is what my body looks like.
There are people online who think this is completely wrong.
One thing I've never understood is PTs are out of shape.
If you're a fat personal trainer, you should be executed.
What about PTs are out of shape? But they're out of shape. How
How do you get business?
There's clearly a big divide. Some people saying you don't need to be in shape to be a good PT, and others saying, well, no, there needs to be proof in the pudding. How you doing?
I don't know.
Good to meet you.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
You're right.
This is Rhiannon, a fully qualified personal trainer who's on the side of you don't need to be in great shape to be a PT.
You can't assume I'm unfit based on how I look, but you are.
Hello.
So, technically, if you are fat, you're not fit. Simple by that. But that does not mean you don't know what you're talking about. Because let me tell you, exercise helps with weight management, but if you want to lose weight and be thin or be buff, you have to do your diet right. You have to eat right. You have to make sure you're eating healthy. So they might have the physicality of being fit and healthy all good, but they might not have the consumption part all good. And yeah, there is a lot of debate on whether people can be fat and be a personal trainer. I'm never going to deny that. There's always going to be debates. And personally, I do see there are pros and cons to being a fat personal trainer. Like, they will say this. I've seen clips of this. I've not seen the full thing. And this one strand of hair is just gonna do that. So I'm gonna. My hair is so long and rebellious right now. I am almost to the point where I can cut it again. So stay tuned for that. And if you are enjoying my commentary, and if you do enjoy this kind of content, come on, subscribe. I know you want to.
Hi, good to meet you, mate. Good to meet you too, pal.
And this is Bobby, again, another fully qualified PT, but on the opposite side of the argument to Rhiannon, saying you do need to be in good shape. In this video, I'm hiring both of them to train me as a PT, and at the end, they'll meet up and discuss their opposing opinions.
You are physically unhealthy.
Really, do you want to know? I do feel a bit intimidated.
It's just morally correct for a personal trainer to be in shape.
Really correct.
You can cut the atmosphere in that room with a knife. It is thick as butter. There is so much tension between them. I cannot wait to get to that part.
How you doing?
I don't know
Good
how
to meet you.
Hello.
Nice
Hi.
to meet you.
You're right.
This is Rhiannon,
Hello.
my trainer for today.
Right, now I'm not going to train you hard. You know this, right? So I'm going to treat you as though.
I was a normal client.
Yeah.
What does she mean by I'm not a client?
I've never had somebody who's a gym goer.
But surely you have clients who come to you saying, I want to build some muscle.
Oh yeah, so we can work in I can never say this word, hypertrophy.
Hypertrophy, yeah.
Hypertrophy. Hypertrophy. I can never say it either. I think I just said it twice. I'm learning, you guys. I'm adapting, but backwards. I hope it's not doubling up. I forgot to mute the mic there. I might have to finagle the audio. So we will see. This is all new for me, but I can see how a lot of new people to the gym are going to her, because let me tell you, going to the gym, especially if you have anxiety or feel socially awkward, going to the gym is really weird and is really hard. I remember first going to the gym and I was so socially awkward. I was like not making eye contact with anybody. I'm like, am I doing any of this right? Mind you, I was using mostly machines and like cardio equipment. So I wasn't doing free weights, but I'm like, this is so awkward. I'm just sitting here moving this thing and I'm like, this is so weird. And I felt so self-conscious. And then I realized everyone else there is not paying attention to me. And as long as I'm following proper gym etiquette, no one cares. And of course, from following fitness influencers beforehand, I knew proper gym etiquette, wipe down your machines, re-rack your weights, that kind of stuff. So I can understand why there would be a need for somebody who's more approachable, because sometimes going to a personal trainer who has muscles on muscles on muscles might seem a little intimidating, and doing their workouts would probably be very effective because clearly they know what they're doing, but it might not, like, you might be like, he's going to be having me do The Biggest Loser, I'm going to be super sore, I'm going to be super tired, it's going to be miserable. So I can see how going to her might be a little more or I guess less intimidating, because she's obese, and I'm not saying she doesn't know what she's doing. We haven't gotten to the workout part. And she could be like a great personal trainer, trust me. I've seen fat personal trainers who work people to the bone. You see sports coaches all the time be on the chubby side. So it's like, if you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about, you don't have to be super lean and fit. But being lean and fit is more like proof in the pudding. It's just like having a nice cover letter to your resume. So I don't think it's mandatory. And I think she does serve a good purpose. She's mentioned that her clients are all new to the gym or are just starting out working out. So she's more of a beginner personal trainer. And as long as they go to her knowing that they're one day going to outgrow her, either doing their own workouts or moving on to a more specialized personal trainer, that is fine. But as long as they know ahead of time that this isn't a permanent arrangement, I guess there's no issues. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
Yeah.
We can work in that and we can do, sets, reps, all of that stuff. I can do that. But the difference is you know what you're doing, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm instructing, they don't know what they're doing.
So this is where Rhiannon's a bit different as a PT.
The clients I help are people who, they decide they want to do something, but then their anxiety is so high for whatever reason that they can't walk in the door because they don't know what then happened. I want to make it accessible for anybody to feel as though they can come.
Rhiannon's goal is to get people who are scared of going to the gym into the gym and started, but she faces a lot of backlash online. It's like hiring a financial advisor who lives in a tent. If you can't take care of your own body, how can you give advice to others?
So I can see where this is coming from, but it's really like I said, she has the physical fitness, physicality. We'll react to her workout, but she has the physicality and like the working out part down. But seriously, working out doesn't burn that many calories. I did an hour build class last night where we were lifting pretty heavy weights and we were doing circuits, and one of them was as many reps as possible for 5 straight minutes of moving, and that was brutal. But I burned maybe 140 calories during that hour class, and then I went on the treadmill and burned maybe another 600. And that treadmill run was at an incline at almost 6 miles per hour for an hour straight. So that was high intensity cardio. So exercise doesn't burn as many calories as you would expect. So if you go to the gym and swing some weights around for an hour, and you're like taking proper rest between sets, you're probably not burning as many calories as you think. You'd be surprised, and I know it kind of sucks. Like you're gonna like, I lifted weights, I'm gonna go get that treat now, and that treat just undid your workout like 10 times over, which it sucks. I get it, but you gotta understand that working out doesn't do, working out sculpt your body. Like it gives you muscles, it gives you like toned body and stuff, and it gives you like physical endurance and stamina. It doesn't make you thin. If you want to be thin or lean or whatever, you have to do that in the kitchen. I will always say that. You have to eat in a calorie deficit to lose weight. Exercise will help with that, but it's not the only way to get it. So, that's what I have to say on the matter.
Well, I'm with her. I've told her what my goal is to build muscle. She charges £50 for a session. Let's see what we get.
So we'll be doing the military press, 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. Pull nice and tight. Yeah, and then drive it up, up. Lovely. You can pull it down and pop it back. Pop your hands just after the little bend. So you're going to sink your hip.
Okay, so I don't know if that's heavy for him, but that would be heavy for me. I've chosen the route of being a okay lifter and a good runner. So my lifts are not as heavy as they could be, but it looks like I don't think he was playing it up for the camera, so that means it was slightly challenging for him, which is good. You want your workouts to be challenging, because challenging you will cause the adaptation. Pushing your muscles to their limits will cause them to change and adapt. So if you don't feel uncomfortable lifting weights at the gym, not like emotionally uncomfortable, like, oh, this is so awkward, but I mean like uncomfortable as in like this physically feels weird or this feels kind of hard, you won't make the change you want. You have to feel like you're really pulling or really pushing to get that adaptation. And I know, let me tell you, doing a full set of that, if you're not used to it, is mentally exhausting. It is so hard to go and be like, okay, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to lift really heavy. And you're like shaking and you're really struggling to get that bar up. And I know it sucks. And that is mentally exhausting and physically exhausting. So if you're not used to going to the gym, what you should do is maybe do like two sets lighter to warm up, and then 1 set heavy to actually do the adaptation until you're comfortable with that force and fatigue. That might help, especially if you're a gym newbie. And just be prepared to be physically and mentally uncomfortable at the gym, because that's how you get it done. And I know it sucks. Trust me, I've been there, done that. And some days I will be like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to lift heavy. This is going to suck. I hate it. And then and then I'm like doing the sets. I'm like, okay, I have to just do this 10 more times. I'm like coaching myself through it, because it's hard. It's really hard and exhausting. So, but like at the end of it, I feel great. I'm like, that was awesome. I feel great. I did a good workout. Uh, it's gonna work out nicely. So it sucks it's like type 2 fun. It sucks in the moment, but once you get it done, it feels great.
Down and drive the elbows down. Elbows down. Perfect. So 1, 2, and I like that speed. So keep that the same.
The workout Rhiannon took me through was an upper body session.
Go on. Pull, pull, pull. Okay, I would pull it there. Stand with your feet like shoulder width apart, pretty much nice and strong.
Yeah.
Bring them in front slightly. Feel my hands on a slight little angle. Just bring them up, hold it at the shoulder height for like 2-3 seconds, and then lower under control.
And she made sure to go over and show how each exercise was done.
I like that she's very like involved in personal training. I've worked with a few personal trainers, and most of the time they will actually show me the exercise if I don't know what it is. Sometimes it'll be like, Paige, you know what a leg press is. Pick which one you want. Do you want the plate loaded one or the pin loaded one? And they allow me to choose. And sometimes I'd be like, what is this? And they show me. A personal trainer should be able to show you how to perform the exercise with their physical body. If you can't do that, I'm sorry, you're probably not cut out to be a personal trainer. And the fact that she's doing it, I can't comment too much on the form. I'm not a certified personal trainer. I am not an expert lifter. But it seems like she's doing things in a way that is very accessible and correct. So I cannot be upset or fault her for that.
And down. Control it down. Go again. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Control it down.
Wow.
Okay, we're going to do alternate hammer curl. Then we'll superset in with tricep push down with this.
Rhiannon told me these were the last exercises of the day.
And then last one on this arm. 24.
And that's the main thing I'd critique about this. There just wasn't enough volume.
Lovely. 9. One more.
So his critique was there wasn't enough volume. Well, I'd say if you're going to be successful as a personal trainer, you can't just go to the personal trainer and only work out with them. You have to go to the gym yourself and do the workouts without them. Like, you have to do it on your own. So if I were him and planning on continue working with her, what I would do is I would just be like, hey, I want more volume. Just simply, if you want something out of your workouts that your personal trainer isn't currently giving you, just politely bring it up. Like, hey, I like the workout so far, but I feel like I could use more volume. Could we up the reps or could we up the weights? Most personal trainers will be happy to oblige you. And a good personal trainer, in my opinion, will be like, okay, I saw you did 10 reps there and you still had some gas in the tank with those lifts. It looked very easy for you. Next set, we're doing 5 more pounds on each dumbbell. Or, okay, instead of 10 reps, you're going up to 15. Because a good personal trainer will push you and they'll be like, that looked too easy. We're going to make this harder. And you know what? That is that I think is what makes a good personal trainer a good personal trainer. Now, this personal trainer that he's currently going to, she seems like a very beginner friendly, more introductory, like getting people started working out. Totally acceptable, but when you first start working out, you're not looking for volume, you're not looking for high reps, you're not looking for high weights, you're just looking for learning how to get active and just getting started. And low rep ranges are okay for when you first get started because you're not used to working out. Your body's not used to that, and it can be very hard if you do high volume, high weight right off the bat. Your body will hate you, you will hate you, everything will be a pain. So I can see where she's going at for that. Seriously, if you are working with a personal trainer and you want to see something out of your personal training that they're not currently giving you, just ask politely. Like, if I went to my current personal trainer, because I have one who helps me with my strength training, I just like the social aspect of it, and I like having someone design workouts for me to follow. It makes my life easier instead of aimlessly Roombaing around the gym doing random stuff. It gives me purpose in the gym, I guess you could say. If I said, hey, I want to build strength to become a triathlon person or an Ironman, she would probably help me start building the muscles needed for that, which An Ironman is definitely on the table for something I would love to run and complete someday, but I need to be in a position to get a membership to my local YMCA so I can start swimming, because I haven't really done much swimming since I was a kid. I know how to swim, but swimming is not a regular activity in Pageland, and Ironman includes swimming. I'd also have to get a bike because it involves cycling, so there's some stuff that would have to happen first. But if I said, like, my next goal is to run a triathlon, I'm certain my personal trainer would adapt my workouts to start training me in that direction. Just seriously, if you are polite and patient about it, personal trainers are more than happy to adapt their workout plans for you. That's their job. Just don't be a dick, okay? And you will get. And you know what? If you bring things up politely and you're still not getting what you want, it is completely okay to break up with your personal trainer and find someone more sport specific or more goal specific to you. Like, it's just be polite about it and you will be okay. I personally have gone through technically 3, but they've been hired by my gym, and the only reason I'm on my 3rd is the first one. I did 1 session with him, and then he moved on to another role. Second personal trainer, I worked with him for like 10 months, and then he moved to Florida, so can't personal train me from halfway across the country, and now I'm on my 3rd. So I personally never broke up with a personal trainer. They all just went, oh, I got a new job or I'm moving away or something. So I haven't had that experience. Every single one was different, but they all challenged me and helped me make progress in different ways. And I've taken aspects from what I've learned from each of them and applied it to my own personal training. So I think it's good. You know what I mean? It's good to work with different people, and it's okay to break up with a personal trainer. You do not have to be glued to one personal trainer for the rest of your life, especially as your fitness goals change and your like interests change. It's okay. You're not going to offend them, you're not going to break their heart. They might be a little bummed if you've built that relationship over time, but it's not going to be like this horrible thing where there will be tears shed. And if there are tears shed, maybe they are not the personal trainer for you if they're crying. But you know what I mean.
14, I think. 16, 18. I've definitely miscounted it because
I think you went from 14 to 16.
yeah, I did something.
There was no chest exercise in this workout either, which for upper body I would have expected.
That's it. Great speed, 7. Go on then. All the way. Okay, call it back. Oh, okay.
But to give credit to Rhiannon, she pushed me hard in a lot of sets. But she said earlier, her main goal as a PT isn't the workout itself.
I guess the big question is, what's your response to people saying that you shouldn't be a personal trainer?
Honestly, my response is that the fact that they think that health and fitness is based entirely on weight, which is what they're judging me on. For me, health and fitness is not just about weight. It's everything from your mental health to your cardiovascular health. Anybody can be a personal trainer if they train and they qualify and they get insurance and they get a job and they can get clients.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to agree with her. Yes. I actually have to agree with her on everything there. But at her weight, she does not have good cardiovascular health. I'm sorry. If you are severely overweight to morbidly obese or even heavier, because there are heavier people, you do not have good cardiovascular health. Simply because your heart is the same heart. Your lungs are the same lungs. But you have more body, you have more flesh, more blood to circulate. So your heart is pushing harder. And I know the heart can be enlarged with severe obesity, but it's like your circulatory system is pushed to its limits and not in a good way. And it's not, and you're just not going to have that cardiovascular health. So I do agree that as long as you're technically speaking, as long as you're qualified, insured, you can be a personal trainer. And seriously, for most of these personal trainer certifications, you just have to take the exam and you get certified. So you don't even have to go through like, oh, can you physically do stuff? But I can see where some people are like, if you're fat, you can't be a personal trainer. I'm kind of neutral. Depends on the person and what they're teaching. If they're teaching the right stuff and they're fat, that's fine. Keep in mind, personal trainers aren't allowed to coach you on mental health stuff or food. They're not qualified to coach you on food diet. They can't give you a diet plan. You have to go to a dietitian or a nutritionist for that. And there is a difference between dietitians and nutritionists. I believe dietitians require medical certifications as well as proper, like a more stringent education than a nutritionist. And dietitians are more qualified to give recommendations than a nutritionist. I believe that's how it works. I believe they're different.
We finished off the session with abdominals.
18, 19, 20.
So it's done?
Yeah, done.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
A few days later, I headed to Liverpool.
We're outside hard labour gym, meeting Bobby, who's a personal trainer on the other side of the argument. Hello. All right, good to meet you, mate. Good to meet you too, pal.
Bobby has been a qualified personal trainer for 3 years and charges £40 a session. That is £10 cheaper than Rhiannon.
I trained with this lady yesterday. Super nice lady. What do you think of her? She's a PT. Just on honest opinion.
The plus size personal trainer. Technically speaking, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want. I just don't think it's morally correct to be a plus size personal trainer. Like, to be a PT, you're promoting health and fitness, and that's just going against it. You wouldn't go to someone for business advice, someone who's never owned a business in their life. That's just my opinion. That's just what I think. I don't think she could be well, she can, but I don't think it's morally correct.
Now, Bobby also took me through a session.
I don't think morally correct is the correct word here. I think maybe it could be considered a little hypocritical, where you're like all about health and fitness, but you're morbidly obese. I can see that argument being made, but it's not like, I wouldn't say it's morally bad. If you're getting people to be active and in the gym, even if you don't look like the picture of health yourself, I don't see that being morally incorrect. As long as you're teaching them correct and proper forms and how to do it in a way that doesn't injure themselves, I think you're in the clear. Perfectly fine. Now, if you are fat, a fat personal trainer, and you don't know proper workout form, you don't know progression or regression of different exercises, you don't know how to train different people, and you train them anyway, I think that is morally wrong. If you don't know what you're doing and you're training people, morally wrong. If you do know what you're doing and you just happen to be a little fat, fine. If you know what you're doing. Like I said, if you're a fat personal trainer, you have to have the education. You have to have the knowledge to back it up, because you're not going to look on the surface like you know what you're doing. So you have to really know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like if you, like, it's like a chef. You don't look like you know how to cook. You really, and you're like a head chef, you have to really prove that you can cook by cooking super fantastic food. If you don't look the part, you have to prove it with knowledge and skill. Simple as that. Do I think it's morally wrong? No. And he's right. It is. I assume the UK is a free country. It's a lot of places are free where you can just do what you want and get whatever. If you have the money and you want to get the certification, you're more than welcome to. That is true.
What are your goals, Mr. Faison?
My goals are build muscles.
Put you through one of my bodybuilding, muscle building sessions today. We're going to be training push. 5, when you're halfway, mate. Give me 5 more. Let's go. Come on, 1 more. Let's work for this last one. Aye. Right with me now. Control it 3 seconds on the way down. And then up. Come on. Try to press this on your own. Nice.
This push session was arguably one of the hardest I've ever done.
Give me 1 more. Squeeze.
So I will be cutting out parts of both workout sessions to shorten this up a little bit. But he did say it was the hardest he ever done. And he probably went to this guy and said, I want to build muscle. And he went, build muscle? Okay, we're lifting heavy. And you know what? If you go to a personal trainer and you say, I want to do this, and they help you do that, you're getting exactly what you paid for. So it sounds like this guy is has good value for his training sessions, good bang for his buck. I appreciate that. I will never not appreciate that. I mean, I'm frugal. I like getting value.
Nice. 1 more. It's a failure. Press. Yes. Nice. And again. 2. Up. 2. Brilliant. Absolutely.
Oh, sorry. I'm muting the mic to try to not double up the audio. I've done it half the time, another half of the time, so we'll see if at any point the audio is doubled up. If it isn't at all when I edit this video, I'm just not going to bother muting the mic anymore. But it is clear that this personal trainer is challenging him. And it looks like he got the volume. The one thing I've noticed is that he seems to be a lot more exhausted from this workout than the one with the female personal trainer, which, I mean, she said she's going to train him like a normal client, so she wasn't training him super hard. This personal trainer is obviously pushing him very hard, heavy weights, high rep. So I guess that has to do with, like, getting that has to do with, like, interviewing the personal trainer ahead of time, like, what they specialize in, because so I bet some personal trainers are, like more chill than others, but I guess it all depends on what you want. Personally, if I had to pick which personal trainer I would like to work with out of the two, I'd like to work with this guy, because I really like to push myself really hard, because it feels so good, that sense of accomplishment. Like, sometimes I'll be like, after the gym, I'll be like calculating and tallying up how many reps of each exercise I did in the weights, just to see how much I lifted during a session. And sometimes I'll be like 20,000 pounds in a session. I'm like, dude, that's a lot of weight. So I do like pushing myself. If you just want a chill workout where you're just getting some activity in, it matters a lot less, well, it still matters which personal trainer you want, but, you know, the female would be better for you than the male. So, simple as that.
Quality session, mate. Really well done. That is the session complete, mate. It was survived the session. It was a killer.
Dramatic music.
This week I've trained with 2 different personal trainers. 2 very different personal trainers. Now it's time for them to meet.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. This is nice.
Hello.
Hello.
Nothing beats a debate in an ominous white room. Like, they couldn't. That's just the ambience is so ominous here. I kind of love it, but I also kind of hate it. Like, if you're gonna interview me or have me debate someone, at least make the room I'm doing it in interesting, please. Give me something to look at, not just white walls and a protein shake, you know?
How are we doing?
All right.
Lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
We have Bobby and Rhiannon here. Bobby is a personal trainer. Rhiannon is also a personal trainer. And today they're going to debate, share their opinions on how personal training should be done. This table will help do that. You see, I'll make a statement. It's then Bobby and Rhiannon's decision where they want to put the cup in favour or against the statement I've just made. So without further ado, let the debate begin. Body positivity is a dangerous movement. Rhiannon, why have you gone for the disagree?
So I'm a big person, and I think that there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't. But
That to me is body
scientifically unhealthy.
I just feel that someone should feel accepted and proud of their body if they're not meeting.
So I think everyone should feel accepted, but if you have a physique like hers, I don't think you should feel proud. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but when you are, like, she is putting herself at risk of a litany of health problems. She might not have them now because she's, like, active and younger, but when she gets older, she's going to feel it. And I don't think that should be glorified. So I'm going to have to agree with the dude on this one and say that body positivity is dangerous. It's encouraging people to live unhealthy lifestyles, to maintain an unhealthy weight, and to not improve themselves. I do believe you should love yourself and that you should accept flaws, like body positivity and, like, burn victims, amputees, people with skin conditions, things they literally can't change about themselves no matter how hard they try. Those people need body positivity. People like her, it's not for her. It's because she can change herself. Now, if she were to lose all that weight, get to a healthy weight range, and she had loose skin and her only option was deal with it or surgery, and she couldn't get the surgery, then body positivity would be for her, and she should wear that loose skin like a badge of honor. Personally, I think anybody who has loose skin from losing a severe amount of weight, I will cheer them on. That they should show that off. That is a victory, and that is a badge of honor and strength and a symbol of their journey. Like, I don't think loose skin should just be something they should be self-conscious of or ashamed of. because they had to fight to get there. That means they got themselves from a dangerous situation, unhealthy lifestyle, and all the physical and emotional problems that come with it. They battled it, and they came out on the other side healthier and better for it. And I will respect anybody who has gone through that journey. And honestly, if you told me that she weighed 600 pounds and now she's down to 350, I would celebrate her too, because that is still a huge achievement. Even if you have a long way to go, you can still celebrate the victories. But yeah, I do think body positivity is a dangerous movement. It is encouraging young people to continue unhealthy habits instead of making proper change.
Society's expectation of fit.
If someone's happy with the way they look, fine, you don't want to help. Yet you are saying, I feel good, I mentally feel good, physically, your body is screaming at you and saying, help.
Yeah, I agree. It's why I'm not over here.
It's okay to be overweight/obese.
So I'm going to say it is overweight. Overweight if you're super muscular and a bodybuilder. You know what you're doing. There are health risks to that. You're fine. But I don't think it's okay to be obese for any reason. Because you're putting a burden on yourself, you're putting a burden on your family, you're putting a burden on everything. And there have been, like, I've heard, like, it makes logical sense that you're putting a burden on everything around you. Even, like, the economic system, you are over consuming food, your car is gonna consume more gas, you're going through materials and medical and everything more frequently and faster than someone who has a healthy weight. So I don't think it's good in that sense. And it's just not good for your body. When I was in the 170-pound range, I was like 172 at my highest noted weight. And mind you, I'm 5'0". I felt awful. I was tired all the time. I was hungry all the time. Walking around for an hour or standing on my feet for a while would hurt. It sucked. Now that I'm down to 130 pounds, I can stand all day. Today, I got 15,000 steps just at work. 15,000 steps. And most of those were done before noon. So, and I feel great. I would go for a workout, but that build class last night really killed me, so I'm taking a break. But yeah, I think that it's just not good holistically. And if you want to, and if you accept the negative things that come from it, I guess that's your choice. But you got to keep in mind that it does affect other people. It's not just a you thing, it's an everyone thing.
Okay.
So being overweight, I obviously work with people who are overweight. They are putting themselves at risk of health scares. It's quite unhealthy. I mean, I wouldn't want someone to die.
My reason for going over this side, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with being bigger, because I think if we lived in a world that just said it was wrong or that it's not okay to be big, I think that would be disadvantaging all the people who are big, who maybe are big for various reasons. It could be a medication, it might be mental health.
So I'm not going to deny that the reasons she's listing are like reasons that people gain weight. There's like, for me, it was a combination of mental health and just not caring. Mental health drove me to snack, and then it just became a habit, and that was the problem. But just because there are all these issues that cause it doesn't mean it's okay. And I understand that some people really struggle with their weight, but it's not impossible, and it's worth the fight. So there's that. What else was I gonna say? I am scattered today. But you are putting yourself at health risks unnecessarily. And it's like, for example, illness. If you are super morbidly obese, you're more likely to be hospitalized by the flu or the cold or the virus that we probably still can't say on YouTube. You're more likely to be hospitalized. You're more likely to not make it and survive these illnesses. A simple cold is enough to do you in. While someone who's fit and healthy, a simple cold might mean their throat is scratchy for a few days. So you're unnecessarily opening yourself up to risk of severe medical consequences and worse medical side effects. So I think that's bad. Like, I have to agree there. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't reasons people get to that size. I totally get it. But it is worth fighting to get better. You know what I mean? And whatever size you're at, being the best version of you as possible. Don't let it get worse. If you know what I mean, just don't let your situation get worse before you wake up and realize, "Oh no, things have gotten worse."
Could be something
There is no medication that actually makes you overweight, because if that was the case, then they would be prescribing it to people who have anorexia, and that'd be solved tomorrow.
but there are side effects of medication that can lead to people.
Yeah.
Are you a pharmacist?
So, actually, I'm on a couple medications that have weight gain as a side effect. And sometimes that could be because you retain water more because of the medication, and you would be gaining weight because retaining water. And other times it might account for 5 or 10 pounds, maybe 15 at most, depending on how tall you are. There's no medication out there that will cause you to become super morbidly obese. Not a single one. There are some that most they account for 10 to 15 pounds. Maybe I'd say if you're really tall, we could probably excuse 20. But there's just no medications that do that. And most medications, like looked it up. I'm on them, and one causes me to gain water weight, and the other one causes weight gain because people found weight gain because not because of anything the medicine did. It helps with anxiety, and when you're less anxious, you tend to have a better appetite and less nausea. So people started eating properly and gained weight. So it wasn't the medication making people obese. It's not an excuse. It may hinder things, but it's not gonna cause you to be her size.
No, I'm a personal trainer.
Yeah.
The way you become overweight is indulging into calories more than you burn in a day.
Indulging makes it sound like someone is enjoying. Do you mean it to have that?
No, not necessarily. Not a lot of people enjoy the calories. I have a lot of clients I work with, and they will eat because of problems they've got at home, relationships, and things. So when they come to me to lose weight, I will try and wrap my head around why they might be that way.
So if I were in his shoes and I had clients dealing with emotional stuff and that's why they were over consuming food, I would say, hey, I don't know if you can afford this and my personal training sessions, but you should go to a therapist, a licensed professional for that, and work through those issues. And I'd tell them, I'd be blunt. I'd say, if you can't afford sessions with me because of that, then that is completely fine. Take care of your mental health first and start working through your issues with food. And then once you're in a better mental state, come see me. Because personal trainers are not licensed to give mental advice or dietetic advice. They're just not qualified to do that. I started going for my NASM certification in sports nutrition, and they drilled that into you. You're not qualified to say that do mental health stuff. So if you mental health or anything like doctor wise, like you're not allowed to make recommendations on how to fix it. You're only allowed to recommend them to go to a proper professional. So I'm just going to put that out there. If he does recommend stuff for his clients mental health wise, he is stepping out of his scope of profession, and he should not be doing that.
So this will lead on to a question. So let's go back. Going off, really enjoying
It's really nice, you know. Told you.
going off what we've just spoken about, being overweight is a choice.
So I'm going to have to go with the woman here. Being overweight is and isn't a choice. Like, some people are dealing with a lot of mental health stuff and they're just not paying attention, and that's why they're overweight. Some people are overweight because they lift weights, and some people are overweight because they tend to overindulge in food. So there's a number of reasons why someone can be overweight. Now, I'm saying overweight as in 5 to 20 pounds heavier than you're supposed to be. Now, if you are any heavier than that in the obese or heavier category, I think I'm gonna have to say that's still only partially a choice, because you might be dealing with trauma or mental issues that are causing you to eat like this. Now, getting to that state might not have been a deliberate choice, but choosing to stay in that state and not get help and make the changes, I think is. And I know it is hard to make those changes. So I'm going to have to say I'm neutral here. In some cases, it's a choice, but in most, it is a situation of you just haven't made the right you may not have chosen it exactly, but you choose to stay there, kind of thing, you know?
You've remained in the neutral. Why is that?
Because I don't know what goes on in anyone else's head. So I'll talk about myself.
Yeah.
I don't choose to be this weight. I don't wake up every day and think I choose this to be like this. I don't wake up every day though and choose to eat in a calorie deficit. So I think I'm neutral because the reason I am the way I am is because of my mental health, and I don't choose my mental health.
If something's affecting your mental health, you can't control that. What you can control though is what you eat. However, it might be hard. There might be times in your day where it is hard to control that, but you definitely can have the choice of whether you want to eat or be in a calorie deficit.
I disagree.
Okay.
I eat as a form of self-harm. The reason I am the size I am is because, yes, in that moment, I guess I'm choosing to eat. However, the opposite for me...
You might not want to choose to do that.
The opposite for me is that I may not be sat here because my mental...
So if you're using food to cope with mental health issues and it is the alternative to even worse self-harm, you need to take a step back and start seeing a licensed mental health professional. Because just like you're choosing one destructive behavior over another. And it's both are bad. But I can understand how you would say, okay, this one's the lesser of two evils. But if you are seriously in that position where you're like, okay, these are both self-destructive behaviors, I have to choose one in order to cope, I would say start seeing a licensed professional and getting the mental health you need, because it's not going to end well either way. So trust me, I've dealt with mental health issues. Doing the hard work and learning how to cope is with a licensed professional is the better way out, and I can't recommend it enough.
health is bad.
Well, I wish you all the best. I honestly do.
And that's the difference.
Should we leave it that one like that?
Yeah.
Got one more statement. You need to be in good shape to be a personal trainer.
As I said before, I don't think this is necessarily a mandatory thing. It definitely helps. It shows that you not only know what you're doing, it shows that you put it into practice and that you live holistically well. But I think there is space for fat personal trainers as long as they know what they're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about and you're fat and you're telling people to do dangerous or harmful stuff and they get hurt, that's on you. So if you don't know what you're talking about, fine. I also think that fat personal trainers, and I'm talking about like her size and bigger, are going to be limited in what they can do, and they're probably going to be more focused on other fat clients and people who are just starting out in the gym. So they're not going to be like powerlifting, bodybuilding, ultra running. They're not going to be extreme sports. They're not going to be good for more advanced people. But are they bad in general? I don't think so.
So not necessarily, you don't need to be in like top tier shape to be a personal trainer. You can be out of shape. The only exception being is if I personally think you've been in shape before. I would always practice what you preach. And if you're going to talk the talk, you better walk the walk, because it will be a lot more motivating for someone who can then see if you can do it. Oh, well, I can do it. Morally for me, I would go to someone who's in shape, or at least has been in shape.
I have a variety of clients in terms of body weight and shape. People come to me because I can relate to their challenges. I feel that if the difference to somebody starting a health and fitness journey is because there's a bigger personal trainer who they can relate to, and that personal trainer knows what they need to do to lose weight, but actually right now is focused on good mental health and just being stronger in the gym. If that personal trainer can help one big person, then they should exist and they should be able to be a personal trainer.
So I think they're both right. You can't, like, this is a very complex and nuanced topic, and I don't think there's exactly one right or wrong answer. If you believe that there shouldn't be fat personal trainers, there's a simple way to, state your opinion. Just don't hire a fat personal trainer. If you think, oh, fat personal trainers are fine, I have no issues with it, and I want to support them, you can buy their sessions. Money talks, so just simply support the side you think best or support the personal trainer you think will serve you best. And seriously, if you don't think someone should be a personal trainer, don't hire them. If you don't agree with what they're doing, they are not for you. It's like the bean soup argument. I've heard people, I've even seen this on my videos where people are like, why would you post this? This is pointless. Like, this wasn't meant for you. This was meant for somebody else. So if you don't want to see a fat personal trainer, you do not have to. You do not have to pay them. You do not have to be their client. Simple as that. Hire someone more specific to your field or your sport.
Personally, wouldn't take advice off. Let's say, put it into example, I want to set up a business. I wouldn't go to someone who's never owned a business.
But that would be like going to a personal trainer who's not a qualified personal trainer. That's different to this because I am qualified.
I feel like it's just morally correct for...
So qualifying is, to get qualified, like NASM certification, you just have to complete an exam. And then there's some requirements to maintain your certification after that. So you could know the book knowledge of personal training, but you might not know any of the physicality of it. You can still get certified. Certification isn't everything. Now, if you went to school for 4 years in sports and you learned everything about it, then odds are you know what you're doing. So just because you're a certified personal trainer doesn't mean you're properly qualified. And I personally think, based on the workout we saw, I'd say she's definitely capable of being a personal trainer. She's just very new. She's just very new gym goer oriented.
Personal trainer to be in shape. That's all.
Morally correct. So the idea that you think that the way I exist in the world and the job I choose to do is morally incorrect, which is pretty much.
So she's getting heated. Now, he's using morally correct. I don't think there's really any moral kind of thing here. I don't think there's anything to do with morals. It's just my personal opinion. It's just different markets, different people.
Much what you've just said really bothers me. I show people they don't need to look a certain way to join a gym.
No, 100%.
Without me putting myself out there and doing what I do, they would never walk through the gym door because the gym is overwhelming. The fact that you feel that me doing that job is morally not great has bothered me because
You can do it. That's what you can do it. You can do whatever you want.
but it's morally incorrect.
If you're out of shape, then
So
it's unhealthy. Again, it's unhealthy. It's just unhealthy.
I think we have very.
So, yes, she is unhealthy. It's very obvious. I'm gonna say she's getting really heated because I think he's just using the wrong phrasing. Maybe he does think it's a moral issue. I think it's just kind of like, I guess you could say it's kind of unprofessional to be a fat personal trainer because people expect certain standards with their personal trainers, and if you're fat, you're not meeting those standards. So I can see maybe seeing it through the view of maybe it's a little unprofessional. I guess that would be a better phrasing, but I don't think it's morally incorrect. As long as you're not teaching them dangerous stuff, you're fine.
Different clients.
And I really don't think we do. I've got kids who are overweight, kids who are underweight, women who are overweight, women who are underweight. I do have clients the exact same as you.
Who are scared to go into the
Oh, mate, I have to sit outside of the gym with 2 clients, and the hour that they paid for me, they were too scared to go into the gym.
All of my clients are that.
Yeah, I feel like everyone is a little bit intimidated to go into a new place.
I think there is a difference
I
because
don't think there is.
you say that your clients come to you because you are the body that they want.
No, not necessarily. I've got women. I don't think women want to look like me.
Okay, so
Okay. I want to look like him, first off. I love the idea of being a 5 foot tall woman who is absolutely jacked and shredded. I think it's hilarious. It's like, oh, she's so tiny, and then I flex and the sleeves rip off and I'm super muscular. I like that idea. So I do want to look like him. Simple as that. But yeah, personally, if you're gonna start going to the gym, I wouldn't start with hiring a personal trainer. I would start with going to the gym, getting in, and you know what? Starting with the cardio equipment, just getting comfortable being in there, explore the gym a little bit. Like, just getting comfortable being in that environment, and then hiring the personal trainer. Personally, when I started at my current gym, I changed. There's a video I have on it. I'll link it below. But I quit Planet Fitness and switched to a closer local gym. And they gave me a tour of it, which wasn't necessary. The gym is fairly small, but I got free sessions for signing up, and I decided to stay with a personal trainer. But I just started right off the bat because I didn't need someone. I didn't need to get comfortable. I was already a gym goer. I was already comfortable in that environment. It was just learning where everything was and getting used to the new faces, because if you go to this gym the same time every day on the same days every week, you're going to see the same people at the gym. People are creatures of habit. So it was a matter of just getting used to the new gym. So I started off personal training right away. But seriously, if you are nervous at the gym, just going there, walking through the door, and then turning around and leaving, or, going in, going to the locker room, using the bathroom, and leaving. Just simple stuff like that will help you get more familiar and comfortable with the environment. And it doesn't have to be like you start off full on workout right away. You can build yourself up, like go, okay, I'm awkward, but I'm going to go and I'm going to walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to leave. And then maybe in a week, I'll go for 15 minutes on the treadmill. And then maybe I will try a strength machine, and just slowly building it up over time. So you're not just going straight from no gym to gym. Like, not everyone can do that because it is a different environment, and gyms have vibes. Like, walking into a gym, there are vibes there. Like, Planet Fitness had different vibes than the Anytime Fitness I go to now. Just totally different vibes. And I can guarantee different Planet Fitnesses have different vibes. And then, like, those small gyms that are more bodybuilding oriented, different vibes. So it all depends on the gym. You just have to get used to how it feels to be in there. And trust me, people, if they people watch, they're not judging. I will admit I people watch, but it's more like, holy crap, that guy is doing a bridge with 4 plates kind of thing. Like, okay, you have glutes made of steel, or like, dude, that dude just deadlifted like 800 pounds. So there, or like, oh my god, that dude is working so hard. I see him here all the time, kind of thing. I tend to be like, oh my god, these people are insane, rather than why are they doing that. So I do people watch, but I just like, and sometimes I'll see somebody doing something and be like, that looks fun, and I'll try it myself with a lower weight because I'm obviously not that strong yet. But it most people don't only pay enough attention to what's going on around them to make sure they're not just stealing someone's bench. So seriously, don't worry about the gym. If you go to walk on the treadmill, no one will notice you're there. And unless you're hogging multiple machines or hogging all the equipment, no one's going to notice you're there. And if you want to make sure you don't get judged at the gym, put things away, wipe them down when you're done, leave it the way you found it. If you do that, you will be invisible at the gym. No one will notice. Unless you do something absolutely ridiculous. Like, if you deadlift like 500 pounds and the gym is busy, people might notice that. But if you can deadlift that much weight, you're not caring what other people think about you because you just deadlifted that much weight. So, you know.
In shape then.
Well, yeah.
My clients see success as me because mentally I'm existing in the gym.
So, Rhiannon, would you say that your main goal for your clients is not necessarily to get them into shape?
Yeah, no, not at all. My main goal is to get them started on their health and fitness journey.
100%.
But you think it's about getting in shape. I don't.
And mentally. I just said mentally.
But my thing is, like, I'm a personal trainer to help an individual do things safely.
The exact same as me.
I think with Bobby,
We're both agreeing.
It's always coming back to being in shape, though. I am a personal trainer to help individuals come into a gym and safely navigate equipment and how things work. It's not about being in
I 100% do that too. I've helped so many people.
So it seems like he is doing the job of somebody who's getting people strong and fit and getting people comfortable in the gym, which is good. Most personal trainers do that. It seems like she is, I don't know their names, but it seems like she is just getting people started, getting people doing the basics, getting them comfortable in the environment. So it seems like her clients, if they do want to get fit, they're going to outgrow her fairly quickly, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for people. Like, outgrowing a personal trainer isn't a bad thing, but it is kind of bad for her wallet or her business if people are constantly like, if you're her clients are constantly outgrowing you, you have to find new clients, and new clients can be hard to find. So she does fill a specific market niche, but it's probably one with a high turnover rate. So I don't know if that's the wisest business decision to make, because when you're a personal trainer, you are either working for a gym or you are running your own business. And it sounds like she's running her own business, so might not be the wisest decision.
Like yourself.
I wouldn't go to you as a personal trainer personally.
No worries, that's fine.
Why is that?
I want someone who isn't going to make me feel bad for existing in this body.
I don't want you to feel bad. I want to help you.
The approach is very different though, and I
really don't think it is.
I think it is, and I think we appeal to different people, and fundamentally, I think that's the difference.
Disagree.
My job, I exist in the gym to bring people in, show them how to do things safely.
Brilliant. I do it too.
I'm morally incorrect and you're morally right. So what's the difference there?
Well, I would say I'm physically healthy and you are physically unhealthy. That's the only difference. I'm not saying I'm better or worse. The question being, is it okay for a personal trainer to be in shape or out of shape? I would say a personal trainer has to be in shape. It's a health industry. It's a fitness industry.
Yeah.
You've got to be healthy.
You don't have to be though.
No, you don't. That you've got free will. You can do what.
So I'd say a healthy personal trainer shows qualities that you would want in a personal trainer, but I don't think it's necessarily required. So I don't 100% agree with him.
Whatever you want. I hope you carry on doing your job and you keep continuing to help people. It's all that matters at the end of the day. You're actually helping people, so. Oh, well done. I mean, yeah.
He really upset her, really pissed her off. But he was just speaking his mind and being honest, and you can't fault someone for being that and stating their opinion. This was a very polarizing topic, and they are obviously from two different ends of the spectrum, so they are going to have very different opinions. And you know what? It's okay. A healthy debate is good for the soul, it's good for the mind. If you feel like you're getting super upset at a debate, it's okay to take 5 or 10 minutes, but you got to try to think about things logically. Always try to think the logical way through, and that's not to say dismiss emotions, because emotions play a key role. We're humans, we're emotional beings, but understanding emotions and getting emotional are different.
Really believe that our client base is different, and I think that's what's bothered me, is that every time I've said it, you have point blank told me no, they're the same.
I can see where you're coming from, totally. You will have different clients. We don't have the same clients. But I do have clients, probably with similar attributes.
It's very clear that these two just don't agree. But what side of the argument are you on?
Oh, and we're back to full screen. How nice. I can't wait to fiddle around with this clip in the editing software. So if you made it this far, please let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree? Can someone be fat and a personal trainer at the same time? Or do you have to be physically fit with muscles? I've stated my opinion at least 3 times in this video, so you know my stance on the matter. I'd like to hear yours in the comments, and if you seriously made it this far, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing. I will link in the end card, and probably, yeah, just in the end card. We're getting close to the end, and in the description, my big reaction playlist. I've everything I've reacted to. So it is. So I think it's enjoyable. I enjoyed making them, so you might enjoy watching them. I react to fat acceptance, what I eat in a day, glitter and lasers. There's one on Alexandra Rodriguez. I will be reacting to her more later. So there's all sorts of reactions. So if you're interested in that, feel free to watch and enjoy. And if you, I guess we'll leave it here. Let me know what you think about the new setup. I know it's going to take some getting used to and some growing pains to make sure everything's working properly, but we'll get there. This is the most, I'm very excited about it. So thank you so much. And whether I catch you in the next one or not, I hope you have a good night.